We're here to talk about the managing situation at Everton Football Club. Now, there's a big chance it's going to be Marco Silva. Everyone's saying it's Marco Silva, but let's throw some names into the hat and let's get into it, because a lot of people on social media and stuff are not happy. What a surprise! The people on social media. Nah, listen, that's fine. That is fine. I just realised one of my buttons is missing. Bastard.
It's fine. Go on.
It's not. There's a button missing. I'm devastated. This won't be in the video, of course, but I'm just...
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on there? Bastard.
You can run fast in there and he'll kill you.
Okay. So, where are you with this situation, Baz? Because Silva looks like he's the man. Marcel Brands is supposed to be meeting him this week. So, from that point of view, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I am.
I'm just checking, you know, just checking.
I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine with that, thanks, mate. Yeah, I am, because I've said it a few times, there's no outstanding candidate there that I look at and go, we could have got him, and he's perfect for us. Thomas Tuchel has been there for a while. Now, PSG might have had a word with him before Christmas and whatever, but other than him, Emery, which gone to Arsenal, will be really going for that. Do you know what I mean? Conte, I don't think people have thrown Conte at me. Pellegrini, I didn't want. So I'm quite happy with Marco Silva and Marcel Brands. I've been reading some stuff on Marcel Brands. That PSV, the fella from PSV was talking about him. It was all glowing. You know, fantastic background and insight into what he does and what he brings. And we need a young coach to work underneath him and go hand in hand, because as I was trying to explain to some people, it's about the process really rather than the manager now, because we're trying to, there's been too much chopping and changing, having to rip stuff up. So what I've heard, I'm quite happy with it. What about you?
Yeah, because, you know, listen, I can't sit here looking at Silva's track record and be amazed by it. I don't think anyone could, but without knowing the full sort of project of what's going to happen at Everton Football Club, and as you just said, you've got to sort of look at what Marcel Brands has done in the past and bringing someone like Philip Cocu into PSV and working hand in hand with him. That's the kind of maybe relationship he's looking at, rather than having sort of a more established older manager who will have been in charge somewhere else. We've sort of had that with Koeman, someone who, push comes to shove, it's either you or me situation. I feel like there is going to be a hierarchy, and everyone needs to know where they stand. And by bringing in a younger manager, they fully appreciate that and will have already sort of had that situation. Silva was a director of football at his first club. It wasn't for too long, but he did the job for a little bit before he took over being the manager. So maybe he understands, and hopefully he understands the situation with that and what is expected from a manager, because he will have had to, you know, it's not just about doing the job, it's about how his relationship would have been with the manager at the time. So from that point of view, I'm quite happy, because all managers are a gamble, I suppose. I mean, there's a lot of fans who are saying, why don't we go out and get and try and get Conte, or try and get one of these big name managers. Now, there's obviously they come with risks themselves, because someone like Conte will have never managed a club like Everton. He manages Champions League teams, so if he can't get a tune maybe out of top, you know, players who are supposed to be the top class, how's he going to get a tune out of Everton players? Now, for all we know, it might be easier for him to get a tune out of Everton players, because the players he has are more willing to work harder and appreciate having a good coach.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas maybe the higher you go, you start getting those egos who go, well, hang on, we've worked with this fella or that fella, and you just don't cut it for whatever reason. So would Conte come to Everton? I highly doubt it, and I highly doubt it because I think he just wants to go back to Italy. I think his family live in Italy. I think his kids live in Italy. I just think that the last year, you can see it on his face, he's not happy being at Chelsea.
Well, he's come out and said he thinks he's taking a year off, the way Guardiola did, to just slow everything down again and then look at his options. And no, nobody knows. Everton they might have had Marco Silva, or well, they have had Marco Silva all the way along in the background, but Everton might have tested the water with him anyway and gone, have you got any interest? And he might have just gone, no, I want to go back to Italy, and that's that conversation finished. You know, so people going, why haven't we asked about him? Well, we might have done.
The other thing about him as well, he's made it quite clear this year that he doesn't like people buying players for him.
No,
because he doesn't play Drinkwater, he doesn't really play Barkley, who clearly been bought for him to fit quotas and sell on with a Chelsea tax on and all.
On it, yeah.
So that's that, isn't it? Again, people. There's a lot of unrealistic shouts, but then there's more. There are realistic shouts. Eddie Howe's name has popped up, and it's popped up actually from journalists saying, well, actually Everton have discussed it at board level, and I think that's right, that they will have discussed someone like Eddie Howe at board level, because I think that what he's done at Bournemouth in the Premier League has been very impressive for what he's got and who he manages, and you look at how small a club that really is. I think he's done really well, so I think they have to do that. They have to have those discussions. From a plus point, he's an up and coming manager. He's an Evertonian, apparently. He's managed in the Premier League for a couple of years, and although he finished higher in his first season, I think, than he did in his second year, I think that this year's been quite impressive, especially the back end of the season with the amount of late goals Bournemouth scored. But he has only managed in England, and he has only sort of dealt with one sort of kind of player. So has he got that knowledge of dealing with the kind of players that ultimately we want to attract to the club? And has he done enough at Bournemouth?
It's a difficult one. He worries me, Eddie Howe. I see a lot of similarities with Roberto Martinez.
Okay.
So I see a manager who likes to play the right way. I think defensively they are open as anything, but they're attacking, so they win games that they're fantastic at coming from behind. They late goals all the time, so they're obviously fit. He's done a brilliant job there. Would I want him at Everton? I'd back him, of course I would, but I just don't know with him. I don't know. It's
just the problem, isn't it? It's hard to see. I look at him and I think
he, to be honest, mate, I think he was sounded out in October, and I don't think he wanted to step into Everton.
Well, you wouldn't, would you?
He's quite safe where he was. We were in a bit of a mess November, and I think Everton asked the question, and I don't think he was very. No. I think he probably just thought, oh, not right now.
I think his style of play's honourable. I don't think he is a Martinez personally. I don't think he is. I think he has a way of playing, but I don't think it's the kind of way that Martinez played, where it was all just like side to side footy, keep possession. No, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. I
mean to just open.
No, I know. So I think his football is a little bit more direct, not direct like long ball, but just more direct.
Yeah.
Let's attack. I think that does leave them open. But then I also look at the kind of I also think that any money he has had, he's tried to generally put it into the forward areas as well, and he does stick to his guns, and I think he goes into games and he won't change his philosophy. That's honourable, I think, at times. It will get you results at times. It'll get you results like Chelsea away, but it'll also get you defeats like Liverpool at home. What was it, 4-0?
4-0.
So he deserves a chance. Maybe he'll have one more year at Bournemouth and then see what happens. But I think he deserves a chance somewhere. He's an up and coming manager. I think he does deserve a chance.
Yeah.
I think Silva edges it, because I think Silva's win ratio is actually better
in the Premier League.
Certainly in England.
59% overall.
Yeah, but I don't.
If you're discounting other league,
I'm not discounting them, but I'm just.
But based on England,
but I'm only using that. I'm only using the Premier League as the one, because I'm not disproving Silva's, But if you look at Silver's, then you've got to look at Eddie Howe before the Premier League, and then you're looking at divisions lower, aren't you? So I don't want to. I'm looking at. I think Silver's is still higher, but he has got European experience. He's got experience of managing in Portugal and managing in Greece, and those leagues mightn't be as good as the Premier League, but I think it's still very good experience because you've dealt with different kinds of people. You've dealt with different levels of talent. You've dealt with different scenarios, different situations, different owners, different problems.
His work at Estoril was unbelievable when he went in there, because
that's where he started
director of the second division in Portugal. He got them up one manager of the year. He got them into Europe with a very small budget. Took over at Lisbon, won the cup. You know, like you said the other day, was sacked for not wearing the club suit, which is just ridiculous. Went over to Greece, won the league by the biggest margin.
Set records in Greece. He didn't just win the league, he set records, and these are all
he's won where he is. Do you know what I mean? So that's all you can really do. And then when he comes to Hull, I've been reading up on Silver. He had 13 players when he went to Hull. He'd won one game. They were gone. And it was like, why have you brought this fella in that no one's really, you know, remember Paul Mason, you know, should be someone like Sam Allardyce getting it. Who's this fella, Marco Polo or whatever he called him. And the next minute, if you go and read some journalists who watched them and the training and stuff, like March, April time, when he'd been there a while, everything's going.
When he went to Hull, he'd only won one game. By the end of the season, he'd won 9. I mean, that's a brilliant second half of the season, isn't it? By anyone's standards.
Especially with the player he had. I mean, he had to trade Snodgrass. He brought in Kamil Grzycki, the winger from Poland. He brought in Markovic.
He did it his own way.
From Liverpool. He brought in Ivandro. That's what player he'd worked with in Portugal. Nias on loan. And all of a sudden, they were invigorated and they beat United. They beat Liverpool. He drew at United at Old Trafford. You know, we had some big results. They lost games as well.
He did it his own way. I mean, when he went to Watford, they looked fantastic till we got involved, basically, and then it sort of dropped off a cliff. He had bad injuries. But we've said this before. You learn from things like that. So, you know, it's whether he fits into the criteria Everton are looking for. But there's other managers out there. Obviously, West Ham have just appointed Pellegrini, and you know, a lot of people are saying, well, why didn't we go for him? For me, because he doesn't fit the model that we are trying to take up. And I know, you know, you look at it and you say, well, he's won the Premier League, but you're talking about a fella who was given everything needed to win the league at Man City, and just did it. I'm thankful he did it, because obviously it was that season. But he just did it, and at his age, as he got there, I just don't think he fits into the criteria of what Everton are looking for. I think with Brands is going to take a lot of that sort of work that maybe he would look to have. Brands is almost going to be the manager, isn't he? He's not going to be the coach, but he's going to. By the sound of it, he's managing all of that stuff, you know, and that means that the coach can get on with coaching. But I just think you're right. I think the likes of Pellegrini, for me, Everton needs invigorating. It needs someone to unite everybody. It needs an enthusiastic, hard-working coach who wants to prove himself, ambitious. And I think Pellegrini's very dignified, he's very quietly spoken, it's all of that. I'm not saying he couldn't do the job, but it goes against what Everton are trying to do. He's not long term either, is he? He's not long term is what the club are looking for. Another name I'd throw in who hasn't been mentioned this time is Sean Dyche, who I wanted in November. And I still feel like he's almost like the outstanding candidate. But I suppose from his point of view, if he wasn't approached in November, when he was clearly interested, then why would he come to it now after having signed the new contract, finished the season strong with Burnley, got European football? You know, he wanted. There's no point. You know, from his point of view, you think, well, hang on, you had your chance, you didn't come. But Everton still don't seem to have any interest in Dyche. Again, doesn't seem to be an avenue they want to go down. Again, that might just because.
But isn't that a good thing? I've seen people talking about Silver and I think Farhad Moshiri, he quite clearly wanted them in November. I think we got Allardyce in to steady the ship. I think he was prepared to give Allardyce the benefit of the doubt for a few months. But judging by the fact that Marco Silva wasn't taking any jobs, quite clearly he was in our thoughts anyway. And people are going, you know, why aren't we looking elsewhere? But I don't know whether we should be praising the fact that he's stuck to his guns. He wants this fella. He's been suitably impressed by him.
Yeah.
He's quite clearly, him and Brands have been discussing it.
I'll come on. Yeah.
Right. So should we then go, well, all right, well, unless someone, a more outstanding candidate.
What I would say to that is, right, what I will say to that, and we'll come on to one other candidate in a minute. What I would say to that is, as long as Brands is part of the process.
Let me jump in.
Go on.
Do you honestly believe he would give up his stuff at PSV? He's settled, job for life, everything's running exactly the way he wants it to. He's got just signed another 2 exciting kids there, which are highly rated. He'd done that before he'd even agreed to come. He wanted all that tidied up. He's very, very professional. He said he loves the people. He didn't know whether he could give it up. So why would you then jeopardise what you've got? If you're saying, if I'm settled and I've got everything in front of me and I go, this is good, I love the people I work with. We just won the league again the 3rd time in 4 seasons. I'm getting all the credit for it because I put everything in place and people are lauding me. And you're going, oh, I really want you, you're great, we want you to do this for our club. But I want to choose the manager and I want to do that. You just go, nah.
Well, no, and I agree. And this is what I was going.
That's why
this is the point I was coming to. Is that if he starts his tenure in this job with someone else's decision, then that's him forever, isn't it? He's got to start this job with assurances he can do this job, right? So, yes, Moshiri. Silva was Moshiri's man in November, but it has to be the consensus of both of them now that he's the right man. And it's not like what you fancy for tea, or I fancy for pizza, and you go, sounds, just go and get pizza. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, one of them.
You want to want pizza.
You gotta want it. He's gotta want it. And it's not just appeasing the owner and just give you the job. It's saying.
But I don't think he's.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You've got to start on the right foot and go from this.
I think from probably before, but certainly from around February time, them discussions will have been taking place. Who can we get? What are we Sam Allardyce is even though it's not for me. This fella Marco Silva, I like what he's done, let me have a look. I think all of that's gone on. For all we know, Moshiri could have gone to Brands in October and gone
deep cut.
Well, they've had the talks, haven't they? So he could have got, because one of the stories I've seen, I don't know how true this is, Moshiri went to Brands in 2016, the week after he'd appointed Koeman, and Brands and Koeman apparently he didn't want to work with Koeman, and so he refused. Right, so I don't know whether that's one of the stories that was a journalist put out.
You might know if that's true, and I can't say that is true, but that might be simply because I've read that they've got to get on and they've spoken to each other. But the simple fact is, he might be like, well, listen, he's all right, he's my mate, I can't fucking work with him. You know what I mean? I know that you're a bit like that. You know.
No, but that's the thing, isn't it? So, for all we know, Moshiri, because Brands has said we've been having a relationship for 2 years since
dirty bugger
came out straight with it. So we could have gone to him in late October and gone, like, we're having to get rid of Ronald and I don't know who, what do you think or whatever, or I'm looking at this fella, what do you think? Brands could have gone, he looks like he might be a good.
It might be like at the end of it might be, rather than like personalities, it might be what fits the bill. What fits the bill. So I'm open that it is a Brands decision, and it's just. I just
think it's he would be given too much up to come here
too early
on the wrong footing.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? He comes in and goes, I can't.
Well, Let me just throw this other name in the hat because it's been thrown in the last 24 hours. Mikel Arteta. Now, I honestly don't believe, but this is just me personally, I don't believe if Arsenal had gone after him, too many people would be making as much noise. But obviously I think people feel that because Arsenal went so much trouble to get him, that for that reason there must be something about him. And I think that's got people thinking, well, hang on, what's he got that they nearly, you know, for whatever reason, there's talk that Arteta turned them down, and maybe that's why they've moved on to Emery. What's he got that we can use? But also, I think there's also that thing of, we need to get him before anyone else gets him. That it's that thing of the unknown. It's that thing of the Shawnee O'Dicios. You know what I mean? That if Silva was English and you knew everything about him, maybe you wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. But because he's foreign, and you will touch him. I think there's maybe that sort of feeling with Arteta as well.
Well, he's an unknown quantity, isn't he? And so he's not soiled yet by losing games or having a spat with a player or whatever. So it's almost like Davy Klaassen.
I don't tell.
It's almost like Davy Klaassen or Vlasic, you know, the least Nias, the less he played, the better he became.
Yeah.
So Arteta all of a sudden is this coat. He's Pep Guardiola Mark II, and we're missing a trick by not going to get him. He might have no interest in managing Everton because he might look and go, there's a lot of work there that needs doing before I'd consider it. Arsenal are more stable than us, it has to be said at the moment. That might change. Everton might have asked the question, if he turned Arsenal down, why would he accept Everton? But ultimately it goes back to Brands and Machiri, and they might go, you know what, I don't want to gamble with a manager that hasn't had any experience. Yeah, he might be a fantastic coach, you know, but David Unsworth was getting, I know it's not the same, but David Unsworth was getting talked up, and he took the reins in the middle of the season, and it didn't quite work. Do you know what I mean? And Mikel Arteta's, was he 36, coming in? I don't know, but I just think, again, he's one of them. He could be magnificent, like the Fonseca thing. Paulo Fonseca, Everton didn't want to speak to him, right? Because obviously the mind's made up on him. Now Fonseca might have come here and been amazing, or come here and been horrendous. You don't know because you've got no bar. All you can say is, if we're discounting, people are discounting Silva winning stuff in Greece and Portugal, why is the Ukrainian league be all and end all?
And why is Arteta, who's not
even managed the bloody youth game, you know, or you know what I mean? He's just gone in and been on the bench. So you know, Rennie Mullenstein, Alex Ferguson said, unbelievable coach, absolutely unreal, right? Went to Fulham.
I think we can get a bit closer to home then.
Oh, but I'm just saying, went to Fulham, nightmare. Colin Harvey was incredible. Brian Kidd, who back at City, was at City, United, Blackburn, went to Blackburn as a manager. They got relegated them. Carlos Queiroz was Ferguson was like, fellas, incredible. Got off.
The clad.
Had a nightmare at Benfica in Portugal, wasn't great at Portugal. Steve McLaren, again, lauded by Fergie. Nightmare. So, because you're a great coach, it takes a special kind of person. Arteta might be that person. They might have seen it and gone, I have no qualms giving him the job. But I think, you know, Bill Kenwright mentioned Arteta in about February to the board, because it was Tom King done the story on it. So it was out there then. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe Mikel doesn't fancy it, or maybe Everton just went, listen, this time we've just gambled last season and it went wrong. And we want someone who
might send them to New York.
Well, there's a fella who was linked with the Arsenal job, Patrick Vieira.
He wasn't linked with it.
Well, he was linked. The same as linked with Everton.
There was reasons why they phoned him, and if you listen to Ian Wright, I think you get a sense of why Ian Wright's fuming over that, by the way.
Right, but all I'm saying is there's a fella who is actually coaching.
No, yeah, and he's
in a league and doing very well and playing well. So
Arteta,
it's all one of them. But what would you have said if it was just Arteta? Would you have been? I know you'd have been happy.
Do you know
because
if it was
Arteta
against some other people? I would have maybe took the risk.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. I think there's.
We'll put it this way: I'd rather have, and this is going to sound ridiculous, and I'm going to sound like I've shot myself in the foot, but I'd rather have Arteta than Fonseca, and I'd rather have Arteta than Eddie Howe.
Interesting.
But I think I'm saying that because of the Everton link, and because I'm hoping he's Pep Guardiola.
I think he's got something about him, you know. I do think he's got something about him. I don't think he's as I don't think he's this one cuddly Mikel Arteta that we think he is. I think he's got a bit of steel in him. I think he proved that by leaving Everton. He's got a little bit of devil in him. I think with the managers he's worked at, he's got a really good mix as well. You know, working under Pep Guardiola, playing for Wenger, playing for Moyes. Can't dismiss playing for Moyes. What that would have brought him. That sense of having to work hard and toughen him up. I remember when he signed, everyone was like, "It won't last 5 minutes, this fella." And he got toughened up and he took it. Played for Rangers, played for PSG. You know, he's been around the block. He's got.
I'm not.
I know you're not. I'm just saying.
But what do you think, though?
I just
up against.
Listen, if Everton announced tomorrow he was the manager, I'd get behind him. He'd be the best little Spaniard and all that. But
I just think it's a gamble, and
they're all gambles, and I think
I don't know whether that's a riskier gamble because we're not stable.
I think it's all a gamble. I think every one of them is a gamble. There's not one of them, apart from if you do give it to Pep Guardiola or give it to Mourinho, that aren't a gamble. They're all a gamble. You've got to put everything into the right circumstances. And it happens everywhere. Sometimes you get a manager and he hasn't got the right circumstances, and then you create the right circumstance for him off the pitch, and suddenly that manager is gone, well, hang on, now I've got the tools to do this, this and the other.
And this is what that Tor, I'm going to forget his name, the fella from Nordling or something, the one at PSV said that's what Brands does. He creates everything around the coach so that the coach can do his job, gives him the right tools, and therefore it's successful. And he does that through players, watching players, talking personality wise, and what the bit he put in, which was really, I thought was key, and this is a quote, it's not a journalist surmising. He said he looks at a player, likes him, then thinks, will he actually fit in our system?
Chemistry.
And if he doesn't, he walks away from it, even if he thinks they're good, or he'll go, I want to watch him for another year, because and that's what we need more.
Chemistry, isn't it? I read a few bits about him saying, and it sounded like Moyes. Chemistry. You look at a player and you go, has he got it?
What's
and he also goes back for players that he's had before, if he knows they're good eggs.
If he knows the thing. And does it fit the system?
So, you know, there's as I say, it's about the whole thing. Hopefully when a manager does get appointed, they'll come out and give the thinking of why we've appointed this manager, because he fits into this system that way, blah blah blah, and people can get a better idea. I mean, we did this on Patreon, another video about Everton and the media. I'd love them to come out, brands to come out and go, got this manager in because he fits these criteria that are going to take the club forward. That's why other people weren't considered or and he's the best man for the job, and that I'd love them to do that, so fans go, oh yeah, now I understand.
I think most fans will be right on board anyway. It's
not about them being on board, because fans will. It's just about getting rid of, because I've seen it, and do you know what, it's sound, I understand. I've seen people say things like, the club have come out and said they're going to appoint a manager to take us into a new stadium. Why aren't they saying we're appointing a manager to win his trophies? And I get that, I fully get that.
But Brands has said that.
But that's just a that's just a throwaway line, isn't it? And the club haven't actually said that. Journalists have said that on behalf of the club.
But it's that all that does is that just displays long-term thinking. That's not the be-all and end-all. Get a manager to take us into a stadium. that means the club want to appoint a manager that's going to be here for a few years rather than one that.
But it is though what you say and how you say it that gets you over to with the fans. It's
every time you speak, you're speaking to the fans. So, and we've said this many a time. Don't let other people fill the conversation in there. You do it. You lead the conversation. And I think Everton will. I think once Brands is on, he officially starts his role next week. Right, the manager will be in place next week, so the two of them will start their roles next week, and you'll get all the media stuff, the interviews, and he'll explain himself, and that'll be it. Then it'll be done.
I heard a great line before, and it wasn't. I think it wasn't about football. It was might have been about politics, but it said, "Silence creates fear."
Yeah,
there's simply no better line I think I've heard when it comes to Evertonians. Silence creates fear. So hopefully it'll be done soon. Hopefully everyone will be happy. But you know what, whoever it is, let's just all get behind them and try and drive Everton in the right direction.
I hope so. Yeah, well that's it, isn't it? He will. But because we do, the best Everton is a united Everton. Is everyone punching, you know, the same, everyone singing from the same hymn sheet, everyone wanting to move in the same direction, the fans getting behind it. You want that spring in your step going to Goodison again. You want to get up Saturday morning and go, playing today, and you know, and all that, and what are we going, you're going to see fast attacking football, and that's what we want to see first and foremost. Then results will come, and hopefully trophies and stuff, the odd trophy, but that's what we want.
Hopefully. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you want? Who don't you want? Who do you think hasn't been considered and should be considered? Throw some names at us, because I know people have been throwing like names at me, and I've been like, to the Google. Like the guys just left Leipzig and people like that.
Husson,
and then the guy who's at Hoffenheim and
Nagelsmann.
And all these...
but Nagelsmann didn't want to leave Germany.
No, I know.
Arsenal sound.
But it's all these names that people throw at you.
Lucien Favre has just gone to Dortmund.
60 now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old. So
he's old.
No, but it's,
I know.
He's not a great manager, because he is. But it's the age thing doesn't. It does matter this time, because Everton are trying to create a process. It doesn't necessarily matter, but it matters.
We're also not the only club in the world trying to get a new manager. You know,
well, like I said to you before, maybe, just maybe, people have to go, looks like Everton have actually planned this, and therefore I'm getting on board with it, because you want the people who are planning it not to be able to have their mind changed so easily.
Let us know who you want. Also, me and Baz have done a video about director of football. In fact, we did it in February actually, and I've stuck it out there.
Did we?
Yeah. Director of football, yes or no, the debate. I've put it out. Watch it. When you watch it, remember, we filmed it in February. You can tell I've filmed it in February. I've got really long hair on it.
And we were both like that.
And I looked like I just ate a cake. Or 7. So watch that as well. Leave your opinions on that. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.